I'm covering solo play only. You ain't come here for bullshit. Let's run it. Gladius starts out in what I call the Cerebus phase, where he's together. Like most other three-headed dog iterations, it is extremely immobile when it comes to its backside, so this is your optimal area to stand when looking for positioning-based openings, aka openings where you have a certain position where you hit the boss as it hits nothing. Many of the bites that Gladius does, you can just roll back from, as at point blank there is some weird form of contact damage that is cancer to react to, so you should always stay in front of the dog heads. Never get too far or else you can't punish it unless you're playing a ranged character like Iron Eye, but generally for melee you want to stay in this close to mid-range territory. For its triple bite combo, it finishes off with this really annoying charge that's hard to run away from. But don't worry, because you can unlock your camera and roll top left to get an opening off as it charges the air while you get a hit in. For the people that watched my level 1 video, you could sprint jump top right and it'll be easier for you to do. If you find both of these methods too difficult to pull off, you can roll left for each attack until you get to the charge, in which you should roll left and you should be okay. When the boss does this hard bite to the right, you can roll back, then surge sprint into him for a positioning based opening where the chain won't hit you. If you're playing with a greatsword or heavier weapons, you can do a jumping heavy to low profile the follow up. I should preface that a lot of these jumps and low profiles are a little bit inconsistent. I wouldn't really recommend them since the arena is all curvy and shit, so it's harder to consistently pull these off. If it were me, I would stick to rolling only, but if you want to hit that style, go ahead. For its fire breath, wait a moment after it cocks its head fully back, then hit roll. Most of the bite stuff here is pretty self-explanatory. Roll when you see the attack. But the chains here are a whole different battle. The majority of these chain attacks means the boss is going to make distance, so always roll inward to punish them. For its chain slam, you can just surge sprint top left and the attack will always miss you. This allows you to get a free opening off. You will know if you position properly in phase 2 when he does his follow up with the sword eruption that makes the boss go over your head, allowing for another positioning based opening. And lastly, for its grab, you can just surge sprint to its back to make a miss altogether for another positioning based opening.
Scum.
Now let's talk about the part that breaks the fight for most people. The gank! It's good. No, seriously, I actually like the Gladius gank on 1v3. I'm going to explain before you dislike, unsub, and won't buy a membership. When playing solo, it may seem like this is unfair considering 3 dogs are seemingly balanced around multiplayer. However, there was a degree of coherence to this gank excluding the roar. Throughout my testing, I noticed that there was some form of aggression and passivity related to their gank. If they were all truly aggressive, then I would just be getting bitch slapped in the back. But if you watched my RL1 video, which you should please, it's the greatest Elden Ring video ever made, please, I need money, then you would know that Godskin Duo's AI functions off position to determine who the aggressor is and who the passive Godskin is. Putting that genius knowledge together that's totally mine to identify how this gank works, it seems 100% likely that this is the case. To explain it more simply, when running away, you can isolate the dogs with surge sprint, and one dog will lock onto you while the rest will stay passive until the roar. There are essentially 2 passive dogs and 1 aggressor at all times. You have no indication of this, so when you're in the center or near 2 dogs, it seems like both of them are aggressive at you at the same time because their aggressive AI is constantly switching left and right to make it seem like they're always doing it. I don't really like how there's no indication for who the aggressor is, but I guess we can only have nice things in Dark Souls 3. With Wilder, you can hook the shit out of there faster than a Heartbroken X respawns. This way, you can manage the 1v1 for a fair and easy fight. Whenever the roar doesn't occur, just surge sprint away and then you'll find a dog who's aggressive on you while the other 2 is passive. I suspect that in trios, all 3 dogs can be aggressive because you can have 3 dogs all be aggressive for a different player on the field. If you're playing a character like Raider or Wilder, you can pop your ults when they're all close by, ICBMing all 3, leashing them for free damage. It's risky as hell to pull off, but oh shit dude, is it awesome. When the roar occurs, homie, just run away. This thing was designed to hunt you down. It is not worth engaging with at all. Leave that shit alone. When he falls back to Cerebus form in phase 2, his fight mostly remains the same, with some sick extensions that he can do with his sword. He has this new fire wave attack that you can sprint jump. You can also get behind it if you move fast enough by surge sprinting top left, leaving the entire thing as an opening. Okay, so this boss is weak to holy damage, and you could tell by the snap you hear and see. This is different from Posture Stagger. And yes, you could stack both of them boys to absolutely bitch this boss. The Holy Stagger seems to operate based on weapon type and damage. Imagine the bar for him being able to be Holy Stagger has a set limit. The more damage you do with a holy weapon, the more his bar fills up. Staggers work for extra openings as he'll stay still for a second, and to do more damage while he has this golden aura on him. I'm not sure entirely how long he'll have this aura on him. I should note that the number of attacks to get him to stagger fluctuate a lot depending on the type of attack you do. So for example, daggers take around 12 jumping heavies to stagger Gladius, but it can go up to 15 if you use light attacks only. The higher damage your type of attack will do, the faster you're gonna build the bar. This doesn't scale with damage either, as I was able to still break him with a normal amount of hits even at level 1. Medium weapons like straight swords or hammers take around 10 hits, great swords take 7, colossals take 5. In phase 2, his small dogs break in 2 hits on colossals. Doesn't matter if you're hitting them with light attacks or jumping heavies, they will snap on too. With medium weapons and daggers, it takes around 4 light attacks, but if you're using jumping heavies, it takes 3. I do want to note once again that these will fluctuate heavily depending on what you use. Spells, items, and Ashes of War all can affect this number. You can even do it on 1 Ash of War on the small dogs. Regardless of the questionable consistency, once you have enough experience with the boss, you can kinda feel out how long the bar goes and predict it based off that. The Holy Stagger doesn't go down like Poise does, so if it takes 5 hits to pop a stagger, you could hit him 4 times, wait 2 minutes, then hit him again, and then he would pop. It doesn't seem like you can stack this stagger either on like regular Poise, considering that with a dagger, after he had his glowing aura, I legitimately hit him 23 plus times and he never popped, which signaled to me that he had a cooldown of some sort. I have no idea how long the cooldown is in phase 2, considering that the boss will constantly split between the Cerebus and Gank form, which have their own individual Holy Stagger bars, messing up my calculations. Overall, I'd give Gladius a high B tier. A very unique gank that's oddly well balanced for solo and trio play that is a bit mechanically underrated. I do love his boss arena in phase 2 as it's something I've never seen before, and while the soundtrack is pretty solid as well, I don't think there's enough to the fight that would elevate him to any top tier levels, simply because his flow is a bit jarring. The boss has got more one-hit attacks like Estelle instead of smooth combos. Lastly, to validate some of what I'm saying, here's a 9-minute endurance fight demonstrating what I'm saying against him. If you want a better idea of how to fight this boss, you can just watch that. Thanks for watching.